Alright everybody, Savannah with Great Starts Dog Training here. So we are going to cover one of the most asked about questions that I get on a daily basis here is, how do I get my dog to listen when I don't have a treat in my hand? And this is kind of a tricky situation here because on one hand, when we utilize a treat, that kind of ups the success rate right off the bat a lot faster. And what we're going to see is that as time goes on, your dog is only listening when they can tell that you have a treat in your hand. And that kind of poses a problem for any situation where you don't actively have treats on you 24/7 and your dog decides to go off and do something they shouldn't, and now you can't get them back. So we're going to dive right into that. We're going to share some suggestions on what you can do and how you can get your dog to be more receptive and more willing to listen even if they don't see a treat on you. Okay, so let's dive right into the first part, right? We need to teach our dog, for example, how to sit. That's one of the foundation skills that I talk about all the time, where we have our sits, our stays, our comes, our downs, our waits. These are all foundation setting core skills that your dog should know and that you should routinely practice with them on a daily basis. So when we're initially teaching our dog how to sit, how to stay, how to do any of that sort of stuff, a lot of the times using a treat as a positive reinforcement tool is going to make them start to listen a little bit faster, right? We're going to get some faster response times. We're going to get some more willingness on their end because we have something good for them that they want. But then if we're just out and about in our day-to-day lives, or maybe we're not in an active training session, we ask our dog to do some of those tasks and maybe they don't listen right away. And either that can get kind of frustrating on our end because we'll say, well, you were just doing it, and now suddenly they're deciding not to just do it. It can be a little bit frustrating, especially if you're trying to show off to your friends or family members what your new dog has learned. So what we need to do at this point is kind of play around a little bit. Let's do a little bit of testing here. Is my dog really just only listening when I have treats? Will they listen sometimes if I don't have treats? Will they not listen if I have treats sometimes? What does the situation look like where I'm going to have a much higher success rate with my dog actually listening to what I'm asking them to do? When we figure out what that situation looks like and what the similarities are, then we can kind of dissect a little bit more on, things we can play with to get them to listen in those situations. So let's take, for example, here, I have my two dogs, Remy and Coda. Remy, she is this little black one that you see right there on my computer screen. She is a Border Collie Lab Pit. We're not really sure. We haven't done the DNA test on her yet. She is very, very smart, and she will pick up on things very quickly. And now Coda, who is this one right above my shoulder before the screen turned off, she is a Border Collie Blue Heeler 50-50 split. Now this dog is incredibly smart. She has insane drive. She has that work ethic of, I need to go, 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 and I want you to do it with me. And when I train with Coda, I know she's going to listen right off the bat. I don't have to do much coaxing whatsoever. And that's not to say Remy isn't smart. Remy is very smart, and she has what I consider, being too smart for her own good, because she knows what I might be asking her to do, and she will choose not to do it. And this happened when they were puppies, and we were teaching them these foundational skills. And, I like to utilize treats when I can because I think it's fun. I like the engagement that I can bring with dogs. And when I was teaching Remy to sit, she would do it over and over and over and over and over. And then she would hit that period of time where they're going to decide, well, I don't really want to do that right now. Or I don't think you have treats on you, so I don't really want to do it. And it used to be pretty frustrating. And even for a dog trainer who's been doing this for years, these same situations will still happen even with our own dogs. And how we went about it is we have to turn them into a gambler. And I'm not meaning we gotta, dogs playing poker, send them out Friday nights to go win some big bucks at the casino. I'm talking about the gambler with treats. When you have a dog that will only do certain things if they see that you have treats, they're not at that gambler stage yet. So how do we turn our dog into a gambler, right? How do we get them to take that chance? Oh, next time I'm gonna win, next time I'm gonna win. That's the mindset we want to kind of trick them into, even when they don't see treats in our hands. So with Remy, and a little bit with Coda, not too much with Coda, but with a lot of other dogs that I work with, I'll talk to the owner like, okay, well, how many times do you do this until you give up and you just say, oh, but they're only going to do it unless I have treats, right? Because we're human, we're normal. Even a dog trainer, we're going to get frustrated. We're going to want to step back, take a break a little bit. That's okay. The most important thing, though, is that we go back. We try again. And when we try again, change up how many times you're giving your treat. First couple of times, give them that treat. Second couple of times, maybe don't. Give them a treat, then don't give them a treat. Amp up that anticipation of, ooh, I want to get a treat. Oh, I didn't get one. Maybe I'll get one next time. That kind of mindset is what we want to get our dogs into, because we want them to constantly be guessing, am I going to get the treat? And if they're very food motivated, they're going to take that bet every single time. If they think that they have the chance of getting that really good treat that you have, even if they don't see it on you, they're going to listen. And maybe you do have the treat and you give it to them. Maybe you don't. That's the gamble. If you don't, you still give them the good boy, good girl, good job, good sit, that positive verbal affirmation that they did the right thing. We're just not adding that extra factor every single time of the food. Now you're going to see a few different things when you do this. You're going to see your dog either A, totally get on board. They're going to jump right in on it. They're going to pick up, exactly what you want. They're going to start listening all the time because they are so highly driven for that reward. And you're going to see your dog who's going to be a little more skeptical, a dog who's going to be a little bit more, well, you didn't have it last time, so what makes you think I'm going to believe you this time? When we have those dogs, we have to take that process a little slower. So for Coda, on the other hand, compared to Remy, it was very easy to turn her into the gambler because she was just so ready and willing and, wanting to do what we asked, when we asked, and if she got the treat, cool. Most of the time she just cared about her ball. She's not very food motivated. She loves her ball. But Remy, she is very food motivated and she's smart. And because of that, she was more on the slow end where, I know what you're getting at here. I kind of think you have a treat, but I'm really not sure at this point. So we had to take our time and we had to give her more treats over and over. And then maybe one time, no treat. More treats over and over. One time, no treat. So we have to up the amount of times that they get the treat and then slowly add in those times where they don't. And then over a period of time, because again, remember, dog training is not a quick one and done thing. Your dog is going to start to believe that, oh, okay, I'm going to get something good out of this. But still, every time you're giving that verbal affirmation that they did the right thing, they're going to love that too. It's just the food helps us get there a little bit faster when your dog is food motivated. If you're struggling with your dog, not listening unless they see that you have a treat on them, you're waving it in front of their hand or face and, then they do it. Start to do a little bit of this practice. Turn them into a gambler a little bit. And, if they get right on board like Coda, then you should have no problem. And you should start to see that receptive listening, the responsive, faster actions sooner. And if they're more like Remy and you got to kind of slow the process down a little bit, be patient. A key thing with dog training is that you need to be patient. If you're not, you're going to rush the process. You're going to rush into something that your dog is not ready for, and it's actually going to do the opposite effect than what you were hoping. So these are just some little tips. Please let me know how it goes for you. As always, if you're in the Idaho, Treasure Valley area, you can find us here at greatstartsdogtraining.com. We are always happy to, meet people, work with their dogs. That's why we do what we do, is we try to help. And hopefully as time goes on, we'll get a little bit better at these YouTube videos, because this is completely foreign for me. I'm not the best tech individual in the world, but we're going to start doing our best to try to make these helpful hints out there for you. And if we can't help you in person, then hopefully these videos can give you some sort of direction. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, you guys, and we will catch you on the next one.